What's up, everybody? It's Why We Love Horror. We're going to keep hitting you with Why We Love Horror episodes because we watched a lot of new shit. I'm
That's right.
John Maher. That's Aaron Brooks. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, what's going on? I'm excited to talk to you about this movie that I didn't know existed until it popped up on a few video on demand sites, and I decided to check it out. But
I watched this like a few weeks back just because I run a strength in another trivia league where I need to watch all the recent releases, whether they're in theaters a lot or in a little. And this was in theaters a little bit. We're talking about Joshua Erkman's debut feature length film, A Desert. That's what it's called, A
Mhm.
Desert. Um, Aaron, you watched them more recently. Let's take a crack at a synopsis here. What happens in a desert?
Yeah, for one, this is going to be very non-spoiler. I would say for a few reasons. One is that I'm not sure I'd be able to spoil a lot of this movie with what happens. It is a little bit confusing, but essentially, it's about a photographer who is on a road trip like through the desert. He ends up meeting a couple, and this couple kind of takes him into a deep, nightmarish world, we'll say, and a lot of weird shit starts happening. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and then we deal with the aftermath where he goes missing, and a PI comes after him, and kind of goes into the same kind of world. Not that we go through the same thing twice, but we definitely get the beginning and then the investigation.
yeah. I mean, like a slight spoiler and a comparison I would make for this movie. It's not Psycho, but it structurally, it's Psycho.
Structurally, it's Psycho. Yeah. Stru-
Yes. So, like the guy who you're following at the beginning, I was not aware that he eventually ends up being killed by, and like it's about kind of the tracking of him. So that part made part effectively for me. But I also don't think like if you know that going in, this movie's ruined either.
it doesn't because it happens very early on, just like Psycho.
Yeah, it really does. It's just kind of a sped up version of Janet Leigh or Anne Heche, whichever version of Psycho you prefer. I'll leave that up to the audience. Um, yeah, what were your kind of initial thoughts though overall? Like
I
that's about as spoiler as we'll get
Yeah, I
here.
think when I described it to you, I think I kind of put the vibes correct. Like this is like it has Rob Zombie energy, but like a much relaxed, older kids playing in the kiddie pool Rob Zombie energy. Because the antagonists, for lack of a better word, they feel like Firefly type people, but they're not as over the top as the Firefly family. They're like a lighter version of that. We get like a guy and a girl, and are they brother and sister? Are they lovers? We don't really ever get a full idea of what the hell they are, but they are both. They are sociopaths. I'm happy to say that at least, and they're tied into some kind of weird like desert snuff film culture is
Mhm.
also on the table.
And that's probably the biggest problem with the movie is it really tries too hard to like shoot for this like huge like oh man like over explaining the unfriended the den world basically where it's like there's I guess this huge black market for these people to buy and sell these videos and make these videos and sell them and all the above. So it's you know it's a little bit strange in that way. You don't want to overthink about it in that way. I think this is one of the examples where you feel the directorial writer debut feature debut a little bit, but overall like I think the reason it mainly worked for me a little bit better, like for one, I think the performances are great. Like they're really good, strong performances all the way around. Like the way this is shot and the sound design and the score, like it's all like top notch. Like this is like really promising stuff from the director Erkman. I think he like has a huge potential. And it does get a little bit strange and twisty, which I enjoyed kind of not knowing all that was going on. It was like a bit soothing, like a movie I wouldn't expect to be brought up here, but I kind of thought of was Paris, Texas. Vin Vendors, Paris, Texas. It like does have that kind of lulling, like vacant desert vibe to it at times. So like it isn't like constantly jolting you and the end of the movie, it didn't quite stick the landing for me, honestly, and that holds it back from being like, oh my god, like I gotta tell everybody about this. But like this is like one of those movies from this year that I don't think got a huge release theatrically, and hasn't gotten really talked about too much. So like I kind of put it in that borderline realm. Another movie Abby and I reviewed a little earlier in the year. I put it right around there with regards to like I think if more people saw this, more people would like it.
I think
Um,
so too. I think the only real fault for me, and not that I destroyed this movie or hate it or don't dislike it or think it's bad. I feel like it's like the light. It has like light elements of like a lot of other movies because
mhm.
the way they kind of wrap it up and it kind of gets a little bit surreal. It feels like they're going for like a David Lynch thing, but they don't go a full
No.
they don't go full David Lynch. But it's like they stick their toe in that pool, and then just the way the antagonists act, it feels like Rob Zombie, but it's not. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of like dancing with stuff we're familiar with, but no commitment. That's my only gripe.
Yeah, and I did miss once the photographer was out of the movie because he probably was the best character, like honestly. So
The PI is like a typical like just like he's
he's fine.
good at his job, but he's a low life too. That's
Right.
like every PI.
Yes, it's a noir. It
Yeah,
even says in the description on Letterboxd, it's a neo noir like world that he goes in. I love noir, so I have a soft spot for that, and I felt like the slow burn eventually becomes worth the slow ember that burns.
fair enough. Let's get into some ratings then. And I'll go first. I This is a perfectly fine movie. I it's everything, all the positive things Aaron said, I agree with. The performances are great. Like everyone knows their assignment, they hit their marks. The score is great. The shots are great. It's just like a weirdly unnecessarily convoluted movie. I think it didn't need to like try to be like complex. It could have just been straightforward, like not like 29 Palms per se, but straightforward enough. Three
Yeah.
out of five.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think that I did like it a little bit more. It's, again, not the best movie of the year, but yeah, it does bite off a little more than it can chew, and it ends up kind of falling short of most of the movies I brought up that I'm comparing it to. It is no Paris, Texas. I'll say that right now. It's not one of the 100 best movies ever created. It's not Psycho, one of the best horror movies ever created. It's not even Under the Silver Lake with regards to like the weird world it like tries to delve into, and it's not Lost Highway or your worst David Lynch movie. So it's not quite those, but still, like that's like lofty bars. 3.5 tapes for me. Um, you know, I usually like, and it'd be like it's a high 3.5 because usually if I'm under 4, I'm not like willing to rewatch the movie within a year. I'd be willing to rewatch this movie to kind of see if there's some things I was missing from it, and whoever comes out next from Erkman, I'm interested in.
Yeah, I would give it a shot too. That'll do it for this episode of Why We Love Horror, episode 95, by the way.
Nice.
If you made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. And have we mentioned that we have a Letterboxd challenge? You should be doing it. Every week, a new movie to watch. You pick the movie. We just give you the theme. And we have a show about it. I'll tell you about that right now. The schedule here Monday versus Will and I review a bad movie. That's about it. Nobody really cares. It happens. Tuesday, my daughter reviews a movie that's probably also one you haven't seen, but it's a family or animated movie, so she can watch it. Why Liv Loves Horror. Wednesday is Aaron Unwinds. Aaron's been doing lists for the next few weeks until we get back to Friday the 13th. We're going to be talking about fuck them kids
Yeah.
tomorrow. I mean, not literally, just allegorically.
Awesome.
Yes. Thursday, the Why We Love Horror Letterbox Challenge watch along show. We're talking about public domain horror this week. And then Friday, 2 episodes of Why We Love Horror Trivia. We're going to get the return of Horror Jeopardy and the singles title match. And then Sunday, we start the week all over again with Why We Love Horror TV covering Dexter Resurrection. It's a lot. But until next time, I'm John Maher. That's Aaron Brooks. This has been Why We Love Horror.